My brother has had an affair with our stepmother for years, and I'm the only one who knows. When me, 27M, and my brother, 25M, were very young, our mom abandoned us and our dad. He remarried when we were 14 and 12. At the time, our new stepmother was 26, and our dad was 42. She wasn't much of a motherly figure, but she was nice to us and paid more attention to us than our dad did, driving us to school, hanging out with us, and stuff like that. 2 years into their marriage, she gave birth to our sister. From the outside, we looked like a happy family, even with their age gap. The reality was far more toxic. Our dad has had a habit of drinking for as long as I can remember, and it worsened over time, along with his temper. That resulted in countless beatings for me and my brother, which, being older, I did my best to take most of. My brother was already suffering from our mom's abandonment, and the way our dad treated us made it much worse. He was a scared kid who never wanted to leave my side. There was a time when things got better. Our dad actually quit drinking and did his best to reconcile with us. I tried to forgive and maintain a healthy relationship, but my brother never accepted the apologies and promises. During this time, our dad met our stepmom. I think their honeymoon phase lasted long enough for her to marry him and get pregnant before she realized she made a mistake. Around the time my sister was born, everything started falling apart again. They began arguing. He started drinking again. He started attacking us again, which she tried her best to stop him from doing. My brother started acting out more and more. Him and my stepmom started to have some sort of alliance against my dad in every argument that happened. I was in the midst of it all, stuck taking care of my baby sister and trying to keep her as away from the chaos as possible. My dad spent more and more time on business trips and at our lake house, aka having affairs. Meanwhile, my brother started acting out of control, getting into trouble at school. He started running away from home, even got arrested twice. Then he came out as bisexual, which was the last straw for our dad. They had the biggest argument so far, which turned into a physical altercation that I had to break up. After that, our dad basically moved to our family lake house and started spending most of his time there. Our stepmom stayed at home, being a housewife, and hired a 24/7 nanny for our sister. I moved for college at 18, and that's when my brother was left living alone with our stepmom. I don't know why me and him grew up into such different people. I always did everything in my power to rise above the abandonment and the abuse. My only goal in life was to not end up anything like my parents, and I never blamed myself for what I had to endure as a child. But my brother couldn't escape the suffering and the self-blame. He sank further down with every passing day and wanted everyone and everything to sink with him. I tried so many times to help him, and I often felt like my words were getting to him, but it was never enough. Whenever he improved, he always went back to his old ways. When he was 17, I walked in on him and our stepmom having sex in his bedroom. That was the worst day of my life. Obviously, he begged me not to tell our dad, saying he would get killed, and I couldn't exactly disagree. This went on for years, and it turned into some sort of sick living situation. He didn't move for college, and when they were alone, which was often, they were living like a couple. He talked to me a lot about how they're in love, how she's going to divorce our dad, how they're going to run away together, and so on. I could never condone this relationship. I tried to get him to think about what he was doing, but in his mind, there was nothing wrong with it. 3 years ago, I got my hopes up more than ever. They had an argument, and he ended things. He moved in with me and my long-term girlfriend, and he lived with us for about 8 months. He even found a boyfriend who was a really nice, normal guy. My girlfriend, who got me to start therapy way back in my second year of college, started gently encouraging him as well. Just when we felt we were making progress with him, he quite literally disappeared from our lives. He was gone from our apartment one morning along with his things. He blocked our number and broke up with the guy he was seeing. When I had time, I went home, and he was there with our stepmom again, acting like nothing happened. He didn't want to talk to me at all. I had to refocus on my life and maintain my relationship, job, and social life. Then 2 years ago, my dad called to tell me that my stepmom was pregnant. Apparently, she needed more fulfillment in her life, and he decided to give her a baby, even though he still hadn't gone back to fully living with her. I immediately knew what happened. It didn't take long for my brother to admit to me that he got her pregnant. She found out quickly and went to our dad to tell him she wanted a baby. They slept together for a few days. She went home, and some time later, she informed him that she was pregnant. My dad didn't want much to do with the baby, just like with my sister, who is now 10 and basically lives with her mom's parents most of the time, or stays with me and my girlfriend, who thankfully loves her and loves spending time with her. Our stepmom gave birth to another girl. Since then, they have been busy with the baby. Our dad has continued being absent and clearly blind, and I try to have the best possible relationship with my brother. I gave up trying to help him. I developed sleeping problems and anxiety from knowing everything that I know, but I stayed focused on my own mental health, since at the end of the day, you can't fix other people's issues for them. You can only love them and give them advice. They choose their next move. I had a conversation with him recently. He told me that he finally reached the conclusion that he hasn't been happy since the day our mother left, and that nothing he ever did brought him closer to happiness until his daughter was born. I think about how tragic it is that our dad's name is written on her birth certificate, and I still don't understand how or why life can be as fucked up as it's been for my brother.